Hello, everybody, and welcome to the third half podcast by 876 Stream. Of course, my name is Christopher Scott, and alongside me is Jamal Tucker. Jamal.
Well gone, Chris.
There. We have another guest, Mr. Jeff, the journalist.
You know the vibe. I'm just here, but I'm not really here.
Yes, of course, we have a lot to discuss. Reggae Boyz.
Reggae Girlz.
I don't even want to say anything more about that. The Reggae Girlz, of course, doing better. Of course, we have to focus on the local league as well.
For sure.
Exactly. So we have a lot to discuss. This is the third half podcast by 876 Stream. We'll be back after the whistle. All right, gentlemen. I can't even begin to really express my frustration. Of course, we are mathematically out of the World Cup for Qatar this year. We lost to Costa Rica. There was a lot of controversy behind of that. It really is a sad thing to see that we're not in the World Cup or contesting for the World Cup. Sad case, isn't it?
It's sad, but I mean, when you consider all of the circumstances around it,
True.
it's not really surprising, is it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's disappointing in and of itself. But I mean, it's one of the best, if not the best crop of players that we've had, certainly for generations.
Definitely.
And so you're looking at it and you're thinking, well, this must be the time.
Our time was up.
I don't know.
There's
so much to say, but there's so little answers that you can really get out of it.
We've covered a lot
Yeah.
for the World Cup Qualifiers, 876 Stream, when you check it out. We've captured some amazing moments. One of them, Jeff, was the goal against USA. I think one of the best goals of not just our campaign, but I think of CONCACAF World Cup Qualifiers. It was his first goal outside the box for, I think, 7 years.
That's all?
Yeah, if memory serves me correctly. First goal outside the box in 7 years. And he was arguably, if not our best player for this World Cup campaign. And he didn't even start out.
He only played half the game.
Exactly.
So far.
Yeah, exactly.
There's still more games to go, and he may not actually be involved in those games.
And
he still stood out.
And to be honest, West Ham is not going to bring him back for those couple games because mathematically we're out.
Right.
So they don't see it as a necessity to bring him back.
Yeah, it's a risk that they probably wouldn't want to take.
Exactly. So with the Reggae Boyz World Cup campaign done, I think
done
we
in the sense that we're not going to qualify.
Yeah, mathematically it's done. I mean, we can start using a lot of the younger players to kind of get them prepared for 2026.
I think that's a good move. And
Very
I
good
think
move.
that Paul Hall, for his part, though, there's maybe some questions still around his position.
And I think he should still stay, to be honest.
I think he should stay, for sure.
Because, to be honest, I think the couple of games, even though, of course, we're on the bad end of those, of all of those games, we have put some of the best passes together for the whole campaign.
Yeah, we look better.
Yeah,
and he has shown an interest in some of the younger players and an interest in developing, future planning, basically.
He has.
Which is something that we've been lacking for.
And we've been yearning. The fans have been yearning for that.
So he's coming in and he's thinking that for the next couple of games, or at least this is what he said anyway. He said he was thinking it. He hadn't confirmed it at the time. But he was thinking of getting some of the younger players in. And some of the guys that would have been involved in that Peru game, for example, are some of the ones that are coming back. Richard King, for example.
Oh, he to be honest, he had a fantastic game against Costa Rica.
Yeah,
he had a really good game against Costa Rica.
He deserved to be in the squad. And when he was in the squad, he played his part.
Yeah, he actually started in the game against Costa Rica and held his own.
That was a back three. And
it was a back
he's
three.
Ever played a back three with Cavalier. So,
and
he wasn't a back three in Peru either. So he came into a World Cup qualifying game for his first time ever. Suddenly, because remember, it was injury.
Yeah, it was injury that caused him to be
played
there.
in a system that he's not used to. He was playing basically like a right wing for most of the game.
But
up alongside Javin.
Yeah, and he linked up well with Javin.
He linked up well. And he marshaled his area of the field excellently.
Hey, let me tell you, the last couple of minutes when they were swinging in the crosses, it was Richard King that was doing it, and there were some very dangerous crosses inside the 18.
He was doing well. So, so players like him, and like I said, some of the other guys that would have been
Akwasa
Chang for sure, that would have been invited for the Peru game, they would be coming back.
Busy as well. I would call up Busy as well.
I think some of these, like, they definitely deserve a chance. And of course, there are some, I won't say young, but they're probably like close to their prime in ages.
Decent players.
Like 24, 25-year-old players who haven't been getting much of a look in. Like a Alex Marshall, who was called up, but dropped out because of COVID for the Peru game.
To be honest,
that can come in, I think.
To be honest, there's another name that pops up to me, and a former Kingston College player can play central defensive midfield, right back, left back, and even centre back. Kasim Priestley. He has been hugely underrated. He's a very versatile player, very versatile defensive player, and he displays leadership even when he plays for Harbourview. You see the leadership. He's marshalling the defense, telling them where to go. And like I said, he's very versatile. He can play that central defensive midfield role, can play a centre-back role, can play a right-back and a left-back role. He has done that for Harbourview and has done that for Kingston College. So there's a lot of young players that we should be able to see. And there are some young players that are performing, that we are not seeing. Messi is one of them. Well, we'll call him Messi, of course. It's Chevron Marsh. He's playing in another country, to be honest.
The question really is not so much who, but where. Which is to say, what position needs to be filled.
Yeah.
Because I don't think
we need more defenders, bro. Like, I feel like all in all, we keep on a look baller, even both local and abroad, but mostly abroad. They might look for winger and striker.
Exactly. All the same rules.
We have them on there.
And look at Tajani Talbot that is in Portugal too. You can have him and Richard King linking up as the two centre-backs.
So you need to look at the positions that need to be filled. We have plenty of wingers, plenty of forward players. And
I think we have some good enough fullbacks too. Because Gregley, how old is Gregley?
Gregley is about 27. Right?
You have another World Cup in him.
Yeah, and he said as much that he has another one in him, so he'd be willing to come back. And I suppose by that time he'd be a veteran as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So he'd probably have benefited from that experience.
Yeah.
But so we're looking at no one's displacing Andre Blake in goal at all.
No, I think that, to be honest, JD White just needs more time.
I said, bro, come on. Andre Blake for one more World Cup.
Of course.
How old is Andre Blake?
26, 27.
But no, man, he's older than me, man.
No, I'm about 27.
He's probably about 29.
Google it.
I don't think so. 28 are the oldest he would have been.
Who, Andre Blake?
Yeah.
Now, I know he's older than me, but I mean...
Andre Blake was born on November 21st, 1990. He is 31 years old.
You're kidding me.
He has another... No, he has...
kidding me.
To be honest,
but at his prime,
he has another World Cup in him.
Goalkeepers play for much longer.
Jean-Luigi Buffon is not both 40.
He is an anomaly.
Yeah, he is.
But at his prime, you think we can get a Blakey?
But here's the thing. Yeah. This is where development comes in. Yeah. Because if you are saying, all right, maybe Blakey have about 2-3 years left. Jaden White is there. Jaden White is what, 21, 22 years old?
I'm definitely on your side.
Jaden is an excellent shot stopper. And if you're telling me if we're having a penalty shootout, I am putting Jaden White in goal. He's an excellent penalty stopper.
The problem is the problem is,
but he makes up for it in athleticism.
You need to understand too that Andre Blake is the leader of that team, and you need that leadership even more so if you're looking to develop with like a younger team.
And of course, but you
have other leaders.
But you do have so many leaders because all right, look if you look at it, Jaden White has been
right now.
No, but look at it, Jaden White has for some games led Cavalier. Obviously, Jaden White was the leader for stats when they had those 2 trips to the Manning Cup finals as well. So it's not like he's not pertinent to being a leader. But you also can have other leaders such as Richard King, Kasim Priestley, even Ajani Talbot.
Chris, watch me now.
So there's many persons.
You're talking about younger players to come into the thing. You need those younger players. It's enough that they're coming into the system now.
Right.
You can hope for things with them, but you don't know. You know you have a leader in Andre Blake. You know you have a leader in a man like Damian Lowe, right? You know you have these leaders. So you work with what you need. You can hope. So Jaden White comes into the fold and him look at him say, yeah man, him fit the bill. Fine. Right? But me can't sit down and tell you that I got. So
but that is also where the administration comes in, because now you need international friendlies to kind of snuff out who you need to put, which person you need to actually have there and in the setup. So, of course, we would have to do that and prepare ourselves for 2026, because we have more teams that will be involved in 2026.
But crucially for us, 3 of the teams that we will be competing against will
they're hosts. Canada, Mexico, and the United States. So we'd have a good chance, a good chance of going in.
4 years to get it right.
Yeah, true. All right, so the Reggae Boyz, as I said, their journey is over mathematically, but they've been doing some bits in international football. Of course,
the
individuals. Of course, the man Kemar Roof was the difference maker coming off the bench. He was the only guy that scored. They won 1-0 against Aberdeen in the Scottish Premier League. They're I believe is 3 points behind Celtic in the race.
Bowser
gets his first hat-trick.
In his first start.
Very, very good. His second goal, I think, was very good. Got the ball on his left, stopped, fake, cut on the right, bang, straight into the back of the net. Spartak won that game with dominance. I think it was 6-2 or 6-1 they won that game. Of course, the man Ravel Morrison scored a brace for Derby County. They won 2-0. Everybody's just doing great individually.
While you talk about all of them different ball here and them a score, remember a man did comment on the stream page and I said, man, the man a club baller still in his heat. Because remember, we watch Reggae Boyz match and we can look upon Ravel and a big Ravel for shoot.
Right.
When Ravel there, him not hit with the trigger, you know.
It actually doesn't.
That's true.
That has been the main
problem.
He plays
further forward too, though.
Yeah, but that is the thing. Because I realized that even in the Costa Rica game, he was too deep.
It was very deep.
Very deep.
It's 2 things to it, right? 2 very important things to it. One, international football and domestic football is very different. International football, A is slower and B is more defensive. That's just the nature of the game.
Depends on which region you play.
Well, yes, but I just mean in general, because South America is very attacking. But then if you ever watch River Plate or Boca Juniors play football, or Santos or the rest of them in Brazil, they're very, very attacking. There's almost no form of defense. The defense are just attackers who play closer to their own goal. You get me? But the international game is a little different. It's a bit more cagey, So that is one thing. So you would find a player like that maybe playing in a more defensive-minded, if not actually defensive role. So that's not surprising. But then the next thing too is that you have to consider, say, he like some of the other players would be in a team and a situation that isn't ideal, and they're thinking, well, I need to contribute or I need to help. So probably when he looks and sees a man like Antonio ahead of him, and when he was there, Bailey ahead of him, and those things, and Bobby Reed and such, I'm sorry, leave it to those guys. Let me try kind of give some assistance in this part of the field that is an issue. Because it was an issue. That part of the field has been an issue for us. And he has quality, so maybe we can give it there. So I can understand maybe him playing a little deeper. And I can understand people saying, them man there play a certain way for him club and now do that for Jamaica. It's literally a different ball game.
Depends though, because I think that for Spartak he plays centre forward, but for the Jamaica team he plays out wide, and I think that's the difference. But Shamar Nicholson, yeah. So, but Jeff is right. I mean, these players are making strides internationally for their clubs, but international football is where we really need them to be playing at their best. So, I would really hope that they transfer that form into the international team. I really do. From the Reggae Boyz to the Reggae Girlz, of course, we're a little more optimistic about them.
Oh yeah,
a lot more.
Yeah.
I see. Jevin Man City shirt. Congratulations to Khadija Bunny Shaw. Won the Women's FA Cup 3-1 against Chelsea, who I think are one of the most dominant English teams in women's football.
They have been, yeah.
Definitely.
We have Spence on the Chelsea side as well.
Yes.
Good for them.
Yes. We also have well, I can't even say potential. Well, technically, yes. Lauren James as well. She can play for the Reggae Girlz. If you don't know, her brother is actually the wing back for Chelsea, Reece James. I'm still upset that she went to Chelsea from Manchester United because she was one of our brightest stars. But that's for another discussion. But the Reggae Girlz are doing pretty well. They are second in their group in the CONCACAF Women's Championship. That, of course, will ultimately decide who goes to the World Cup. Of course, we remember that famous penalty shootout that they won. And that sent us to the World Cup for the first time in our history in 2019. And of course, we had that famous goal against Australia. That goal by Havana Salone, that pass from Khadija Bonishaw was magical. But they've been doing well so far. Defeated Grenada in dominant fashion. They won their first game in dominant fashion by 4-0. Khadija has played a big part in those games. What do you think about what they've been able to do so far?
Well, I mean, it's like you said, we're more optimistic about them. I'm not surprised. I generally look at our girls and think that they're among the best in the world. At least they should be getting to a World Cup on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
And it seems like they will be doing.
You're more optimistic about them making it.
And then we have to also realize, too, that we had a good team then, but a young and inexperienced team. And most of those girls have come back.
Yeah.
Most of them are the ones that are playing now, right? Because you mentioned the penalty, for example, Dominique Bonflaza.
Bonflaza, she's there. She's back,
yeah,
right?
And she looks in good shape too.
Oh, she does.
She looks in good shape.
Yeah.
So we have some of these people coming back, and we have our star in Bonnie just growing from strength to strength.
Yes, goals in a Jamaican international
it's
shirt.
It's ridiculous. Like I tell you, I've been to a training session with the Reggae Girlz prior to the 2019 World Cup. I think that was before their Panama game, which was the last game on home soil before they left. And
was it Chile game? Was it against Chile?
Chile?
Yeah, it was against Chile.
But I remember I was at the stadium when they were doing the training, and like I haven't actually been around the world's best players, men's players. But I can just imagine.
You have to consider.
I can just imagine when I was standing on the field and I was watching her going through her drills and like just seeing the difference in level. I'm just like, this is what it feels like to be in the presence of greatness. Yeah. Because she's genuinely awe-inspiring.
But, all right, so here's a very, very big and important question. In women's football, we all know one of the most dominant strikers in the history is Miedema from Netherlands. Do you think that she can catch up to that level?
To Vivian Miedema?
To Vivian Miedema. Because Miedema is... anything to touches basically goes into the back of the net. Vivian Miedema.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Bonnie is a more dominant player in terms of forcefulness.
And she plays deeper than Miedema. Miedema is an out and out striker. Bonnie Shaw plays
but she does
sometimes as a 10.
But Miedema does well in terms of linking up the play. Bonnie is more of a poacher in her striking fashion. Right. But she does drop deep a lot of times as well. What she does actually really well, Bonnie, is that she gets her around the field, right? You would see her playing a lot on the right side. And
she's not a speedy person, you know.
She's not slow either,
she's very skillful.
She's not slow either.
She's fast for a slow person, you know?
Yeah, like that. Just like that. You get me? And of course, she's very strong. She's imposing, especially comparative to her opponents. But then, like, the thing is that, like I said, she moves around the field. So she would actually find herself playing in the right channel for most of the game because that's where the space is. That's where the ball is coming. And she moves there. She goes to the left under the same thing. She drop deep under the same thing. She run in behind. You get me? Like she has a very good understanding of the game.
Her off-the-ball movement is exceptional.
It's really good.
All right.
I think she can get to that level, and I think it's not long before she does.
Oh,
I mean, she got into the Man City team and not been playing like every single week. Yeah. But there are times when Ellen White have to sit on the bench. Bonnie up on field. Yeah,
and Bonnie is scoring as well.
You know what I mean?
Also, I don't want to talk about is Jody Brown. Young player could actually play in the under-20 Reggae Girlz team, but chose to play for the senior team. Yeah. And she's just picking up right where she left off. She's a very good player. What do you think about her?
A lot of people were upset or disappointed or surprised
that she wasn't in the under-20.
Right, and I'm thinking, well, what did you expect? Because the under-20 championship currently going on, came right after they had played those senior games.
And yeah, Vin Blaine did discuss, did say that she would have missed too much schooling had she done that.
That's just not feasible.
No.
Right? And then further to that, why wouldn't she be in the national setup? She's a senior player. She's of that quality.
Yeah.
And she is a senior player. She went to the World Cup, remember, and she was a crucial of those championships.
Definitely.
So, yes, of course, she's going to be in that team. It's not that... Mbappe won the World Cup at, what, 18, 19?
Yeah.
So, why never they play under 20 championship with Petri then?
I wouldn't.
The man is a top player. Jody
I'm sure
is a top player.
I'm sure that if a man like Phil Foden was playing, had a choice between the senior and the under 20, would choose.
Yeah, but that's the thing. These players don't have a choice. You play in those age group competitions to get to that level. She's at that level.
And to be honest, I don't think. Simple. To be honest, she's past that level.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I don't think
she's at the senior level. There's no need to play under 20.
I don't think. I think he would have. I'm not giving her too much praise, but I think it would have been too easy for her to be in that setup.
It's not too much praise, because that does happen. Remember Pogba before you played in the French team, national setup on a regular basis.
Yeah,
he went and played under 20 World Cup and made it look so easy. Right, yeah. And France went and won that, and they had players like Kurt Zouma, and I think Varane was in that.
Because to me, to be honest, I'll go one bet. I don't think Phil Foden should have played in the under 20 World Cup either.
There you go. So it's like when you're at that level, like I said, they play these age group levels to get to that point. If you're at that point, it's redundant to continue playing in that level. You just move on to the senior team.
Yeah, I think that the Reggae Girlz will do wonders for us. Mm-hmm. They are behind by goal difference against the Dominican Republic. That's going to be a very, very big game.
That's in April, yeah,
for them, right? So I don't have any reserves about. I'm not worried at all. Worried.
I think they'll go one better in the World Cup as well.
I think so.
We didn't win a single game.
We what do you expect?
No. I'm just saying.
We played against Brazil, Italy, and Australia, who are way better than us.
What I'm saying is, they'll do better than they did last time because they have those experiences. Mm-hmm. And they themselves have gotten better. I mean,
so you think it's inexperience that caused them to?
Absolutely.
Yeah, true.
They're young and inexperienced. They weren't just inexperienced, They were young.
I can't believe it's been almost 4 years already.
But then you have to also consider too that most of these girls now, since playing in that World Cup, have gone on to play in Europe, like top leagues in Europe, all around Europe. Most of them would have been just coming out of college or playing in, some backwater leagues, no offense to those leagues, but that's what it was. And now they're playing in we have players in Italy, England, parts of UK as well, because we have someone over in Scotland with Rangers, I think. You get me? So we have players are around, and they're playing in these top level teams. I mean, Bonflaza for her case, she was playing in Netherlands and I think Denmark at one point. So they're getting that experience. I have no concerns at all. They're gonna do better. Yeah.
I really hope that they do, because I really would want to really see them at another World Cup. Of course, we'll
be watching.
Oh, definitely.
Our domestic league now, it's been getting a bit of a facelift lately. Or at least they've been trying to give it some, some new ideas coming into the fold. Sponsors coming into it, some money is going into it.
Yeah.
They're still playing out at UWI.
Yeah, but they've added other venues.
But they've added other venues as well. And I think they're looking to get some lights in it for night games as well. And that would be good, because they're playing.
That'd be awesome.
They're playing on the AstroTurf, and it's blazing hot in the middle day when they have to play. That's not good for anybody's feet.
No.
You get me?
They get a lot of blisters.
So it's a good thing that they're doing that. What's happening right now?
Mount Pleasant dominant as usual. They actually lost their first game of the season. They lost 3-1 to Tivoli Gardens as we're recording this. So that happened yesterday. I'm recording it today, Sunday. Waterhouse still keeping up with them. But it has been all good. I think for the past 2 seasons, this has been some of the best football that we've seen. With the AstroTurf, you don't want to risk yourself getting injured. So what I see them doing is passing the ball quicker, getting into spaces quicker, running into spaces quicker. Their off-the-ball movement has been much better.
That can all be good things, yeah?
Yeah. Even though, of course, they're complaining because they're getting ankle injury. As a matter of fact, at the end of the season, I spoke to Ronaldo Webster of Cavalier when they won the league. and he said he had to get surgery on his ankle because he had an injury playing on the AstroTurf. It was the goal that he scored. The last goal he scored, he suffered that ankle injury, and so he had to get surgery on it. But I'm telling you, Jamal, this is some of the best football I've seen us play for the past, in terms of our domestic league, for the past two to three seasons.
That's
I'm
good,
telling you,
because that's one of the things that really impacts the international team as well. Because when the quality that is available in the domestic league locally is at a standard, the international football can go up. Like I said, they're passing more. They have to. But then also they're playing on a better field. So when they make a pass, I mean, it's AstroTurf, but when they make the pass and it rolls straight, it's going to roll straight. You know, it's not going to like a stone and fly over this. You know what I mean? So that's a good thing, though, because you see the developments that they're making, off the pitch, that is. And you're thinking that, would it actually mean anything, though? Because we've seen that before. We've seen different, title sponsors come in and say they're putting money into it, and then, it doesn't go anywhere.
But it's different this time around, because, all right, so with this that is going on now, I think what Chris Williams is doing is actually magnificent to me, where he is making sure that the different teams have different sponsors.
Yeah. It's almost like a franchise type of thing, because everybody has their own sponsor.
Exactly. Yeah. That is what I'm saying.
For real. Round of applause to Chris Williams.
Yeah, but it's true. And I know that Chris came here and did an interview with you guys, and the vision that he's had to really improve the league, that is what we want to see as a local.
Because it's not like, what is this? It's just modernizing it.
That is that is one of the reasons, because when you look at it, the different leagues around the world, the Bundesliga in Germany, the Premier League in England, the Eredivisie in the Netherlands, different teams have different sponsors, but there's one umbrella.
Right.
This is what we're not doing a lot of the times for the leagues. And then with these funds and this money coming in, the government will ultimately try to get involved, because let's face it, if you want to improve and actually recognize the work that they're putting in, the government would have to step in and do something, in my opinion. They give you funding. The other corporate entities give you funding. Now you're able to improve the infrastructures of the different fields that the other teams are playing on. Tony Spalding Sports Complex, Edward Seaga Sports Complex, Draxal in St.
These have good atmospheres. If they have the pitch to play on, it can be really good football going
exactly.
Chris,
So
like
you
want to run for MP.
No, I wouldn't
Sports
mind.
Minister, take Bob's the work. Make sure you deal with entertainment and you deal with sports.
But it just makes sense, because with the money that's coming in, you improve the infrastructure. When you improve the infrastructure, you wouldn't have to worry about Captain Horsburgh Center of Excellence using the artificial turf, which in fact causes blisters on the feet of the players. Injuries. You wouldn't need that, because now you don't have artificial grass. You have the real grass that you're growing on the different pitches. You'll improve the pitches, and then ultimately you wouldn't have just good football playing at the Captain Horsburgh Center of Excellence. You'd have good football playing everywhere else.
Yeah.
Round of applause, please.
It's just a way to spread the influence of these ideas around.
Right.
So
right.
I'm happy to see, and one of the things that he's talking about too, this might be touching a bit more business side, but talking about getting an IPO for the clubs, like have them listed, and that in and of itself would generate revenue for the clubs themselves.
Yeah, that
and
is
then
what
the clubs
that's
can actually, like maintain these things. So it's not just one man can come in or needs to come in and say fix the pitch field, and then they say thanks, and then it runs to ruin eventually. You can maintain it, and you can get better facilities.
Listen,
as well.
we need to learn some marketing strategies. The different clubs need to learn it.
That's
because
exactly what he said. He came into it saying that, that's what they need.
I would want to know that I can sit down with somebody, an investor, not just a club, because this is also one of the reasons why the different leagues around the world are successful. They don't just have sponsors, they have investors in the club. So you don't have Yokohama in having Chelsea. You do have investors that have shares in Chelsea. As a matter of fact, LeBron James, he's also a shareholder in Liverpool. Right? Matthew McConaughey, I think, has shares in a Bundesliga team. I don't remember which one it is.
And he's the owner of
Tony Khan, who
the Austin team, isn't he?
Exactly. Tony Khan, who is the owner of All Elite Wrestling, he has shares in Fulham. So these are the type of things we have to do, and ultimately, I believe we can teach this for the different clubs in the league.
And I mean, some people might hear us talking now, because when you talk about the Premier League and then you immediately compare it to, say, the Bundesliga or the English Premier League.
But these are the leagues that are making a lot of money.
They look at it and they say, but we're not them. Like, yeah, but we can be them, or we can at least be in our own way. You know what I mean? Like, if you model it off what is successful and what is working, how can you fail?
Yeah, and then the thing about it is, it's not like we only have just local players. Obviously, it is attracting players from other countries.
Yeah, because I mean, put it this way: if we get it up to a certain level, we can be the Premier League in the Caribbean region. So you have all these Caribbean players coming in, and their dollar is stronger than ours. So a Caribbean, say for example, even a Trinidadian company saying, "Hey, I'm going to sponsor this team that this Trinidadian player is playing for."
But look at it, and we'll go back to the international performance. Shamar Bowser Nicholson, where did he start?
Right.
Playing for Boys Town in the Premier League, and look where he's at now, scoring hat-trick in a league where
that's the end goal, right? The end goal is not necessarily, now that the Premier League is better, blah blah blah. In fact, as far as I see, the Premier League should be like a stepping stone for the high school players. So when they come out, they're playing in that level, and they shouldn't be regressing. They should be playing at a higher level, and against like more people at that level, so that they can develop better, and then they can step up to bigger leagues overseas, and also improve the national team when they get into it. Yeah,
always good to have this kind of marketing mind in order to progress the league, because like I said, we all want the league to get better. Yeah. And I don't just want it as a stepping stone, gents. I want it to be something that a lot of people can come down here, watch it, enjoy it, and a lot of players can come down here and play as well. Right. Because we've mentioned many persons. The goalkeeper that used to play for Mount Pleasant, he wasn't here. He was, I don't remember which Spanish-speaking country, Central American country he was from. But I know he was playing here. Javik McFarlane, who plays for Portmore United, he's from St. Lucia. Alvinus Myers also is from St. Lucia as well. So there are players outside of Jamaica that plays for us. And I would really want it as a marketing ploy for us to really go out there and make a name for itself. Not just the Caribbean, but I want people from the world recognize that what we're doing here is really something that we need to take a look at. But some good discussions. We'll hear some input shortly from Jeff, the journalist. Of course, it brings us to the end of our third half podcast for this episode. Remember, guys, you can check us out on Instagram at 876stream, or YouTube 876stream, or Twitter stream876. You know the vibe. This is Christopher Scott alongside the man Jamal Tucker, Jeff journalist. And this is the third half podcast. Also, remember, Anchor, Apple, we go everything you can listen podcast on. We're there. We're live. You know the vibe. This is the third half podcast, and we're over and out.